Now let's talk about steering. If the car is being driven along a straight and level road with the front wheels already straight, that course can easily be maintained with the minimum of steering effort. When you're turning the steering wheel, affecting the front wheels, the back wheels don't follow the same tracks. We therefore need to compensate for this when we're turning. Otherwise, of course, the back wheel may well hit what the front wheel missed. So to steer a car correctly, we use what's called the pull-push method. And we also bear in mind this. There is a tendency for most motor cars, when they have been steered one way, to develop the habit of being allowed to return to the straight and narrow under their own steam, like this. Don't let this happen. It's bad driving practice. You must have all elements of the car under your control at all times. And that means, hands on the wheel, you steer into bends and you steer out of bends. You don't let the car try and do it for you. The other thing about steering a motor car is that you really shouldn't do it when the car is stationary. Otherwise you can damage the steering mechanism and the tyres. Now, here in the studio, to me, that isn't a problem. And it isn't a problem because I've taken the course of jacking the front of the car up, so I can steer it quite easily without doing any damage. You may be saying to yourself, that's all very well, how do we practice in our front rooms then? Because we obviously can't bring the car in and jack it up right next to the television set and in front of the fire. You can practice steering at home with quite ordinary things that are easily available. A dinner plate, for instance, or even a washing up bowl. Something that is the same shape, if not perhaps exactly the same size, as the steering wheel on your car. In fact, a washing up bowl is a very good thing to use. I'm not using one right now because I can't get one here in the car with me. So, let's carry on with our demonstration then using the pull-push method. And we're going to say that we're going to try and turn to the left first. Now, this means that whilst the right hand holds the wheel, the left hand slides up and around the wheel rim from 10 to 2 up here to 12 o'clock. The left hand grips the wheel as the right hand relaxes. The left hand pulls the wheel down and around to the 6 o'clock position down here. But notice that the right hand here has also slid down and around to meet the left hand as near to the 6 o'clock position as is comfortably possible. What happens now is that the right hand now takes the grip. The left hand relaxes. The right hand pushes the wheel back to the 12 o'clock position, whilst the left hand now has slid up to meet it. And of course, to turn right, you do all those actions in reverse. Now, these movements are continued until full left lock is achieved. Full lock being the total extent of the steering wheel's movement. But remember this, the position of the steering wheel here in the car doesn't necessarily relate to where the front wheels are pointing. Let me give you an example. If I turn the wheel back to there, say, from the position of the spokes, even the little symbol in the middle, I would imagine that the front wheels are pointing straight ahead, but just look at the front wheels. They're still pointing to the left. And one final point. I talked about keeping the car and the vital steering under your control at all times, and that, I'm afraid, does mean that you have to keep a hand or both hands on the steering wheel at all times. Obviously, it can't be both hands all the time. Sometimes you'll be using the left hand to indicate or to change gear, but you must keep control of that steering wheel, and that means at least one hand on it all the time. Look at it another way. What happens if you take both hands off a dinner plate? So now it's time to find a suitable place for practicing. A quiet cul-de-sac is suitable, providing, of course, that it's free from traffic and children. A car park is also a good idea if it's not being used. Here's a simple exercise to develop steering technique. What you have to do is drive forwards, maintaining a very slow speed, then steer hard right towards the far curb. Just before you get to that side, turn hard left to come back to the near side curb, continuing this exercise, of course, as far as you can with safety.
Right, what we're going to do here is we're going to get into a bit more of the steering practice. You've had a bit of practice on the steering on the straight and just a little bit this way or that way and the slight bends, and you've coped with that quite nicely. But we can't keep you on straight roads all the time or keep you on bends much as you might like that. You're coping very well with these, so we're going to take the steering a stage further. What you're required to do when you're turning actual corners is obviously move the wheel a lot further, and this is where your pull-push method comes in that you've been studying, and you've been practicing the movement of it, and you've been using your T-plate or washing bowl, and you use a round one, not a square one.
It's a round one, yeah.
That's good. So you've got the action all right there, Well, we'll find that out in a minute. We're going to have a try at that and see how we got on with that. So what we're going to do first of all is just to get the feel of how far the steering wheel goes. We're going to go from here. We're just going to be in first gear. We're not going to change gear or anything. Okay. Just go around more or less on tickle. We're controlling it with the brake if need be, or we'll come to a stop every now and again. But it's a case of once we've got the car moving, what we want you to do is to steer round to the right as far as it'll go till it won't go any further. Do you remember what the term's called when you go around
full
that far?
lock.
Good, well done. Yeah, that's it. It won't go any further, in other words. So from the full right lock, what we're then going to do, I'll tell you when to do it, once we're sort of gone round a bit and we're facing the other way. We're then going to go from full right lock to full left lock, just to get the action of going round. Now, don't rush it. Most people at first tend to, I've got to get this round. Just take your time. As long as we're going slow enough, you'll have time. Just take it round nice and steadily, one hand in the other, pulling and pushing. And then we'll go the other way. So I'll be telling you which way to steer it. Okay. And we'll practice that to start with. We'll see how that goes and sort out any problems that we might have there. And then we'll see how we go on from there and try and get you actually simulating as if you were turning corners using these sort of lanes here as if we were on a road and coming to a turn and turning one way or the other.
Okay, yeah.
But we'll concentrate on the figure of 8 type thing to start with, steering from one lock to the other.
Right, okay.
So clear enough on that?
Yeah,
right?
Fine.
So if you'd just like to start up then. So you wouldn't want me to demonstrate it or anything, no? You're quite happy to
Well, I've been practicing with me.
Yes, good.
Washing
That's
up
very
bowls,
good,
so
very good.
We'll give it a go.
Yeah, good, okay.
So you want me to?
Now, just take it nice and steady, not too much power, just a little bit.
Do I still have to do all my checks?
Still, all your usual checks, yeah. And in the car park here, a good full shoulder check to the left as well, because there could have been Sunday part in here.
Okay.
We know that it's nice and quiet, but just to get you into the habit of doing that. So in a car park, you would always check all round about through all the windows, right? Your blind spot isn't just on the right then, it's all round, okay?
Yeah, it's clear.
And, right, when you're ready, just release your handbrake. Now, both hands on the wheel, and you're going to start by pulling to the right.
Oh, sorry. I've not done that for a long time. I was
don't worry about that. Concentrating on the steering and your feet go, so don't worry about that. You start it up again, that's good.
Right, try again.
You're on a slight slope here, you maybe didn't appreciate that, just a fraction more on the gas. Now, pull with the right, and then, and bring the left hand down at the same time though. Push up now with the left. Bring both hands down to the bottom of the wheel. Right, just let it come round at that just now. Off the gas altogether. Now, slide your hands up to the top, both of them. Pull down with the left, push up with the right, pull down, just keep going. Push and pull, time about. That's it, lovely, that's you on full lock. Now let it come round. Let it come round, I'll tell you when to go back the other way again. Now don't accelerate, now to the right. Pull and push, keep going. Just keep going, keep going. That's it, it's a bit jerky, yeah, but don't worry about that, no, keep going. Just keep going, it isn't all the way around yet. Now don't accelerate, just keep off the accelerator. Now to the left, pull with the left, push with the right. Time about, keep going, just keep going, keep going, keep going. That's it, that's the idea. And we'll try it again, and then we're going to stop and we'll cover how you're doing. Now the other way around again, to the right, pull and push. That's it, pull and push. Push from lower down. And pull at the same time though, time about. Now let it come round, and then as we come round, pull back towards me now this time, right, till it's straight, and then just come to a stop here. That's That's it. Make it safe.
I thought I'd mastered it on my washing up bowl.
Yeah, right, okay. Right, let's discuss what's going on there then. Right, you've managed to get from full lock to the one lock to the other. At first there, what you were doing was you hadn't obviously appreciated it. I wanted you to go all the way around. You were doing a bit of steering and then you were stopping.
Okay.
Just keep going in one direction until it won't go any further. And as I said you would probably do, you were tending to sort of rush it and dive at it. Just a case of think, right, which hand do I use first?
Yeah.
So it's the one hand pulls, the other one pushes. This one pulls,
keep them both
that one
together,
pushes.
like
So
that.
they're going down together. What you tend to do is want to use right hand and then you're using your left hand,
so-
or your left hand and then your right hand. And the other thing you're
it's
not
like
doing
that,
is
is
you're
it?
not coming down to the bottom of the wheel here. You know, use from the top to the bottom,
Like that.
or the bottom to the top. Yeah,
Which I was doing on my
Yeah.
washing up bowl,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
different when you're moving.
it's different when you're moving.
Yeah, right.
The other thing we want you to do is just try and not. It's very difficult not to press on the gas because you're used to doing that when you're moving off and when you're going up through the gears and so on. So this time we don't really want to go any faster. We want the car just to more or less be ticking over and running under the momentum that it's
Right.
got. Once we moved it away, we just want it to sort of roll on under its own steam type of thing and keep moving. So we don't want any pressure on there. If need be, we might use the brake, but we certainly don't want to be using the gas pedal there.
Okay.
So in that respect, pull with the one, push with the other, time about.
Yeah.
So we'll have another try at that and see if you can get these two hands going together.
Okay.
And just take it a bit slower and I'll tell you left hand, right hand, and the pull and push, and we'll see how we get on.
Right.
So if you just try and
Slightly
listen to
down
me
there
as we're
this way.
doing it, just move off first. We'll let it go down a little bit and then we'll do a right turn to start with. Now, nice and steady, off the gas now. Now, pull with the right, push with the left. Pull with the right, push with the left. Watch, you're almost at the line, and start steering now. And push, and now the other way. That's it.
Oh, so
And
you
again.
don't wait till the car
No,
goes all the way
and
around?
straight, and forward again, and we'll do the same again. Right, try it again now. Pull, and push, and pull. Now back, pull back, push up, and it works, doesn't it? How do you feel about trying this one yourself this
Yeah,
time?
I'll give it a go.
Okay. It's nice and steady, off the gas again. Watch for your turning point. We don't turn until the front of the car's at least at the line. Right, now. And back. Keep going. That's it. Same as we did before. There's nothing coming in. I'll keep an eye on any cars. Right, round you go now. That's it. Now, how was that then?
A lot easier.
You clear enough on that?
Yep.
The right turn, in a sense, you see, you've got your centre line to come to, and that's easier for you. You any idea why it's easier for you?
It's nearer to me.
Yeah, and if you look there, you can see that white line, you can see that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
So if you were going to park in one of these bays, you know, driving into it, you can see exactly where you're going. Not so easy to judge these ones, is it?
No.
Because you can't even see this white line here, can
No.
you? Right. So you got to judge it from the front there.
Okay.
Okay, so left, it might sound a bit silly, but left turns are harder than right turns to judge.
Right.
Okay, when you're ready, we'll move. Whenever you're ready. Now, just off the gas again. Don't turn yet, keep it straight. I'll tell you when to start pulling with your left hand. Forward yet. Now, round you go. And straighten it fairly quickly, don't let it come round. And turn now. And straighten it. Okay, feeling happier with that?
Yep.
Right, once more, just out a little bit. We'd normally be about this distance away from the curb. Just ease off slightly, up you come, see if you can judge it for yourself this time. A bit too far, but that's better than the other way around. Straighten it now, and turn again now. And just like the other turn, start straightening up now. You're tending to let it come round a bit, okay?